A lot of people dealing with some consequences of their actions today. A lot of these happened almost immediately. I was kind of surprised to see it because usually things like this just go unanswered and they're allowed to dance on graves and spit on people every time that there's some kind of tragedy. Not this time. MSNBC fires Matthew Dowd after comments on Charlie Kirk shooting spark outrage. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You know, FAFO. Now, there was a lot of this going on in mainstream media. I could do a whole video on all of the people that got in some trouble. But we're going to focus on two mediums today. We're going to focus on comic books and video games because, one, there's a deep-seated problem in the entertainment industry, and it's one of the things that I've always focused on over here. So we're going to start here with DC Comics. Now, I've actually covered this writer before. Gretchen Felker Martin has quite an unhinged history. I've done a video on this person. You can find it in one of my playlists, probably the DC Comics playlist, where I went over a lot of the nasty history that this person has put out there for you to see, and they didn't exactly hide it from anybody. And this is nothing new to mainstream comic books. I've been covering mainstream comic books since I started doing YouTube. That's how I got into YouTube, was doing comic book reviews and talking about the state of the mainstream industry. It's full of people like this, with this type of ideology, this radical leftist thinking. They have been like this for years. So I wasn't shocked by this, but I like that for the first time, I think ever, a comic book radical has faced consequences for their actions. But you have to ask, like, first off, DC Comics apologized, and I'm going to show you what this person said. We're going to go through it. But why did DC hire this person in the first place? This person is a very outspoken radical. No comic book mainstream experience at all. I'm going to tell you why this person got a job with DC Comics to write Red Hood, a Batman family character, because of their ideology. So they said, you're perfect. You're in. And it's been like that for years. And DC's apology, I don't accept it. You knew what you were doing when you brought someone like this in. You've got a lot of people like this still working for you. And you need to clean house. But here was the original tweet. Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch. This is in response to someone showing the news of what happened. And then he said, hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. Here's a tweet that came out before Red Hood #1. The comic was completely canceled, by the way. And what's wild about that is this comic book had just dropped. There will be no issue 2 or 3. But this was posted before the shooting. I have not read this comic, but I think I'm going to see if I can pick it up, and I'll do a review of it. We can see just how nasty this is. Here's what he said. Kept seeing people TW Red Hood #1 for, I don't know, what is it? It's edited, subtle. Oh, for suicide. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why until I remember it opens with a bunch of cops shooting themselves. I just really don't consider them people. That's just a taste. If you look at the history of what this person has posted, you will see a lot of stuff like that said. That's why he got a job there. Plain and simple. A lot of the comic book industry is full of people who support this type of thinking. Not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the newer ones. But here we go. Let's get into the main meat and potatoes here. We're going to talk about Ghost of Yotei, a game that I was willing to give a chance to. Now, this isn't this game's first cross into controversy because the voice actor is quite the radical, an extreme radical. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to just, that person is just the voice actor. I'm going to set aside the person and embrace the art because the first game is so damn good. I'm going to look past it. I can't do that anymore because now you actually have a game developer, Drew Harrison, celebrating this shit. And I'm just done. You know, I have a backlog of games that I need to get through. I have quite a few games I need to play. This game, I don't need to play it. This is it for me. This is it for me and Ghost of Yotei. If you want to buy this game, that's fine. That's your decision to make. But I will be passing up on this game. So I'm tired of this shit. So here is the person right here. A senior staff character artist, of course it's an artist, at Sucker Punch Productions, who works on Ghost of Yotei, is facing backlash after celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. On social media, Harrison, who goes by Drew on Blue Sky, posted, "I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back." Of course, if you don't know what that's a reference to, that's a reference to that Luigi, I forget his last name, but it's the guy who killed that healthcare CEO last year, assassinated him point blank, hitman style. Here are the posts right here. Of course, look at the bio. You got the usual mentally ill shit in there, pronouns, sexual stuff like poly. I don't know what ENM means. You got usual shit in there. I'm surprised there's no flags in there, to be honest. And they're from Seattle, of course. Maybe instead of emailing people's employers, y'all should be emailing your reps and demand gun control immediately. Some of y'all have never heard of the critically acclaimed Mario Brothers franchise by Nintendo, and it shows. We know what you were talking about. I've been told that the Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Ooh, ooh. And then the one I just posted. So double down on it. Probably because they know they won't be fired. Because usually these people, they just sweep it under the rug and they don't do anything. I was kind of surprised that DC fired old Gretchen. But Drew Harrison, still employed. And even if they were to apologize and do something, I don't care. I'll be passing on this game. That's enough. And look, it could be a great game. I don't care. I got a bunch of great games I still need to play. And I'm just going to go through my backlog and not play this. I don't care that much. I was already kind of turned off to it. I would rather have seen more of Jin, to be honest. But I was willing to give this game a chance. I really was. I had it pre-ordered on Amazon. It's like, yeah, it's probably good. Sucker Punch made it. I'm going to give it a chance. But you know what I did yesterday? I went into my Amazon, clicked cancel, done. Glad this came out before the game did. This person clearly doesn't want my money. They don't need it. So I'm good. And this isn't the only thing going on. There's some hypocrisy here, especially when you look at Sony's policy against hate speech. Dr. Disaster posted this. This is Sony's own policy on this stuff, right? So they have rules for you, but none for them. So read this. Take a second if you want. Pause and read their own code of conduct that they enforced on their customers. But I guess that doesn't apply to the people that work for them. So, it's just a big joke. The media has ran with this for years. Then you got this guy. So according to Chibi Reviews, this person works on a couple of games themselves. Look at the shit they're saying. Also, the localizer for the online Final Fantasy game, they're going crazy, saying wild shit. But it doesn't stop there. You have them calling for Asmongold to be shot down. Tectone posted this. This comes from Reddit, which is funny. It comes from the deprogram. Well, this is how they deprogram. They destroy you if they don't agree with you. Comply or die, basically, is their saying. So this is going to get wild, man. It's not going to be just political figures. There's people saying if you're even a podcaster or a content creator, you're next, all this shit. It's wild. Openly saying this out loud now, which, they did before, really, but it's like on a much bigger scale now. And they're all celebrating the idea that people they don't like are going to have their lives ended. It's disgusting. And it should be highlighted. Share this video. Share other videos that cover it. Share the posts when you see it. People need to know. Now is the time, while it's in the popular zeitgeist, to spread all this shit and show just how insane these people are. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.